Hello there, this is CAN Kenan from Kenan Plays, and today we're going to play part 11 of Burokku Girls, which means block girls. Is this Minecraft kind of blocks? This block girls, alright, let's just continue. Part 11. Okay, so over there, we're going to get attacked soon. Leaping to her feet, Asahi took aim with a crossbow and loosed an arrow into the night. I couldn't see a thing, but I could tell her aim was true when I heard a voice crying out in pain. Ugh, somebody shine a light over that way. I couldn't make sense of what was happening, but I did notice when several light stones swung their illuminating rays out in the direction Asahi had fired. Whoa! And they attacked back, They retaliated. And I suddenly noticed when the light fell upon beings who were even darker than the pitch black night had enveloped the land, the scream of hatred and outrage as a darkling glared at us with eyes of rape. Everybody opened fire. I didn't recognize the voice that gave the order, but I could be certain that nobody hesitated in hitting it, Asahi least of all. An instant later, a hailstone of arrows launched from Keihe village rained down upon the legions of darklings that were now launching fireballs back at us. So those are the fireballs. And then my ears were filled with screams of pain from both sides. Off to the side, a guard fell to the ground, his chest scorched from a fireball. Amongst the darklings, several men and women fell to the ground, arrows lodged in their bodies. I couldn't tell if they survived the shot or not, but I could tell that none of those of their fellow even cared. They just kept advancing upon the village, launching a fireball and marching over the fallen. All the while, several on our side were struck even as the rest continued to launch arrows. As for me, I found myself glad that I wasn't wielding a bow of any kind. I don't think I could have handled being in that position of facing all those people as I stole everything they were and everything they could have been. And as the carnage continued, I couldn't help but think of the times I have been in the shooting game, mowing down whosoever was in my way without a care for who I wouldn't up shooting. I was shooting bad guys after all, and if the odd civilians got in the way, well, the worst that happened was that I had to replay that section or minus point or lose a life. But as the stench of blood and burning flesh filled the air, the reality struck me of the nightmare. The reality struck me of the nightmare that surrounded me. What? As the fight continued, leaving me surrounded with screams of pain and blood spilling forth, I wanted nothing more than to find the nearest bed and crawl right under it, but I was too afraid to move. Too afraid to do anything but huddle next to where Asahi and Dawn were, wondering when it would all end. Oh my gosh, you coward Taki. We are using up our arrow too fast. Any ideas? I got one. Thanks to Zara, I got plenty of energy for big time power. And I do mean big time. Super puncher up. Sucker punch. I just had enough time to wonder what in the blaze Dawn had in mind before Asahi whirled in surprise. Alright, they're gonna combine power. Is it? Whoa, the picture changed, right? It became more vibrant, right? The color. Did it? It became more vibrant, right? And that was just in time for Dawn to grab her and plant a deep, passionate kiss upon her lips, one that lasted a long time and even seemed to have the two girls glowing. Yeah, they seemed to change in color, right? When Dawn finally broke the kiss, Asahi just looked confused as the bunny girl took a few steps backwards. Dawn? Nothing happening. Oh, it will, but you might want to give us all some room. Give you what? Whoa, she's gonna explode too. At the moment, Asahi's breast bounced mightily before swelling twice their size. Whoa, the armor must have came off already, right before Asahi herself started swelling up. Whoa, what's gonna happen? What's this? Why are we looking at her legs? And as everyone else there looked on surprise, the blonde archer grew twice the size of her normal height. Whoa, cool. Crying out in surprise, dismay as she came over the tower over all of us. Jump! get off the wall, go after the Darklings. But as Asahi was too surprised and confused to listen to Dawn's advice, all she was able to do was step back away from us, lest we be crushed. Unfortunately, the only thing beneath her foot was empty air, leaving her to windmill her arms helplessly before falling off the wall, crushing down to the ground far below. Bam! The good news was that at Asahi's ever-increasing height, the fall hadn't been that far. The bad news was that she was permanently stunned, and I had just been given a perfect view of her perfect view up her dress, and now had a fresh nosebleed from it. Whoa! I thought you were scared just 1 second ago, and now you are bleeding in the nose. Ouch! Asahi, hurry up and start fighting. This isn't gonna last forever, you know. This is like the First Order, which is like the Black King Bar, you know. If you guys play Dota, huh? Oh right. Whoa! She's huge, man. She's holding like a tree. Without another word, Asahi recovered and forced herself back to her feet. Wincing in pain, a series of fireballs founded a much larger target. The blonde archer let go a series of tears as she marched towards the Darkling Legion, her features twisted with a greater pain. She was now huge enough to deal crushing blows to the foes that were marching on Keihi village. The same forces that had been turned against them by the will of the Underworlders, all of them victims themselves. As Asahi paused long enough to glance towards us at the people that were wounded and were also fighting to survive, and letting go a few more tears, she turned her gaze towards the Darklings and growled deep in her throat, right before bringing up her right foot and then smashing down upon a horde of Darklings. Damn, underwater monsters, where are you hiding? Asahi marched further into the fray, grabbing a nearby tree that seemed huge to me, but looked tiny in her grasp. Clutching it by the base, she then turned towards the Darkling and used it like a massive broom, sending dozens of Darklings flying painfully through the air. Even more of the Darkling loses a wave of fireball at the tree, only to regret it when it was burning the wood that was smashing down upon them. You tricked us, you manipulated us, you make us fight among ourselves. Where are you, you Darklings assholes? You are the ones who I want to kill, not these people. So where are you? As Asahi wept miserably and continued to fight, I realized that she had raised a valid question. Thus far, there had been absolutely no sign of the Underworlders anywhere, but they had to be somewhere around. As I understood it, this was the big fight for everyone, and after watching them delighted in all the suffering they caused, I couldn't imagine them not wanting to be present for their presumably inevitable victory. So where? Look out! I practically jumped out of my skin at this, so did several others nearby, running away from the continued fight between the giants, Asahi, and the Darkling Legions. We looked towards the interior of the village. Bam! Out to our horror, we saw a pit in the middle of which hordes of Darklings spilled forth, lobbing fireballs in every direction. What the? Can't they do that? Can they do that? Gaming rule number 1, always keep a trick up your sleeve for the grand finale. Obviously, the Underworlders has kept a few tricks of theirs hidden from the Overworlders, and now that tactic was paying off. Far as focused as everybody had been on the assault taking place outside, they had been taken completely by surprise by the sudden appearance of enemies from within their own village. As I looked down, the Darklings repeated their rampage of wanton cruelty upon the innocents within the village walls. And it wasn't just the Darklings we were dealing with. Even as the guards turned their arrows towards the Legion, billowing up from the center of the village, 3 familiar figures locked their way up the passage of Ooze. Oh, that's disgusting the way they come into the village, right? And emerged covered in dripping slime. Ew. Is it black? Oh, right, now they appear. Nice effect though. How did I let you two walk me right into letting Gwenor get us in here? You know how I feel about her ectopod. I'm sorry. I'm not a fan of them either, but it was the fastest way for us to get in to win this battle. We win it all. So let's grab the village head and turn everybody to darkness. My heart filling into the pit of my stomach as I thought of people here being turned as the other villagers had been. I felt a surge of desperation. Whirling about, I looked at the giant Asahi who was fighting with everything she had. Asahi, the underworlders, they are inside the village, they are. Oh no you don't. I glanced back to see Ariana firing an arrow into the air. I didn't track the arrow, so I was spared of the sight of a flash bombing explosion, immediately binding everyone unfortunately enough to be looking its way. Oh, so everyone can't move, is it? It's like a flash bomb. But you just lose, you'll be stunned for a while. And thanks to me and my big mouth that included Asahi. No one likes tattletale, is it? Tattletale. Everyone, your precious light overworlders while you can. Enjoy your precious light overworlders while you can. The situation was bad. Most of the guards of KH Village has been at least partly blinded by the flash arrow, and now the ducklings coming after them without restraints. And as I looked back towards Asahi, the situation got even worse as she started to slowly shrink back down while surrounded by even more ducklings. It's wearing off. Okay, we can't let them get to Liana. Well, seems like in order for the whole village to be converted, they have to get the village head, right? I know, but what can we? Hey, I still have enough power. Before I could ask what Dawn had in mind, she wrapped her arm around my frame and planted her lips firmly upon mine. Once again, I felt a delirious warmth wash through me, sweeping aside my fears and concerns, if only for a time. There were a few things about Dawn's personality that I didn't care for, but I had to admit her keys were becoming a high point to my being in this crazy world. Oh, high point? Wow. So much so that it was all too soon that she broke the keys and pulled away. So this is a part where I turn king size and go on stomping spree? No, but I just did give you a strength boost. It won't last long, but hopefully it will last long enough to clear out the intruders and the underworlder themselves. I briefly wondered if the strength boost would mean I could kiss my clothes goodbye, but before I could give any additional thought to the matter, a fearsome cry prompted me to roll about just in time to see Duckling coming at me, flame clutching in hand. Whoa, this is a sexy one, right? This is a sexy Duckling that we first saw, right? Prompted by sheer instinct and all of the tension that has building up inside me thus far, I lashed out at the Duckling turned villager and tried to swat her away. I didn't just try, I succeeded. The stricken Duckling cried out in pain and was sent flying through the air and over the wall before falling from sight. Come on, we don't have all the time to waste. Thinking of the way Asahi grew and started to reverse, I realized that Dawn was right, and following her as she scrambled down the stairs. As I ran, drew forth the pitiful sword and shield that I had been given, figuring that they would be better than nothing as further Duckling came at us. Looking about, I saw the underworlders trio and a horde of Duckling heading towards where Liana and a group of guards that included Zen were. Having seen what happened if they turned Liana, I charged to the nearest Duckling, ramming her with my shield as she threw a barrage of fireballs at me. Whoa, she flew again. What? All the Ducklings looks the same, is it? All so sexy and so on. Like the previous Duckling, this one was sent flying through the air the instant I slammed into her. And I didn't have time to celebrate as another Duckling came to me, and then another. What? So all the Ducklings that were converted will look like this, is it? Because they are throwing fireballs, right? So I assume all those who are throwing fireballs are Ducklings, right? Whoa! Oh no! Their hair shape could change. So it's either purple or red hair so far. As for Dawn, she also had her hands full as a wave of Duckling came at her as well. But even as they reared back, hands laden with fire, the bunny girl brought one of her hands to her lips and blew a kiss. Whoa! Power kiss! A kiss made up of a cloud and glowing pink hearts that surged towards them as they collided with the Duckling and masses. The hearts feel left them dazzled and stunned, quickly shrinking to ground with almost happy expressions. What? I guess her kisses have effects on everyone. True, but after that, I didn't have much time to think of anything. There was just so much going on at once, I couldn't keep track of it all. I couldn't see Asahi at all. I hoped that she'll be able to get back to the village before Dawn's power had failed completely. There were ducklings everywhere. I was scared of seeing any of the horrors I witnessed before. I heard howls of pain here, a cry for help there. It was nothing short of absolute chaos. And it scared me. It scared me right down to my core. So I took that fear, I used the horror that lived in my mind and turned it into anger and strength. Whoa, the ducklings here looks quite cool, eh? Right here, it looks quite cool. They look cool to the max, man. Anger at the monster that has spread so much misery to the people who didn't deserve it, and a determination to put an end to it no matter what. Bam bam! Using this to fuel my effort and buoyed by Dawn's strength boost, I charged forward, and for the first time my fear was forgotten, shoved off to the side just long enough for me to wait in the nearest ducklings and send her flying, and then the duckling after that, and then the next, and the next, and the next, and then the next one, and with each duckling we defeated, we got a bit closer to where Liana waited. Just a bit closer too. No! Is that Gwenor? A fireball whizzed through the air, forcing Dawn to jump backwards to avoid getting her face scorched. As we looked about, we saw Gwenor approach, a determined look on her face as she held up twin orbs of fire. We are so close to freedom, we won't let you ruin it. Well, since your freedom seems to be coming at our expense, I'm gonna have to ruin it. Takeshi, go on ahead, I'll take care of this one. I was about to protest, but a few things stopped me. The first was Gwenor sending another fireball at Dawn while the bunny girl retaliated with a wave of pink hearts. Oh, it's quite interesting to see them fight, right? I wish they could animate that for us. The second was the fact I knew I was on the time limit before my strength boost wore off. True, that's smart. And the third, I spotted Nev, she's Nev, and Adriana, and a horde of ducklings closing in on their target, and I realized I had no choice but to heed Dawn's order if we were to save the people of this village. I think I can call her Andy, right? I used to call her Andy, right? Crying out in the guttural rage, I charged forward and almost mindlessly simply hacking and slashing and smashing anything that got in my way. Hack, slash and smash. Whoa, they flew by so fast, right? Normally this would have been suicide. For all I knew then, I could still well be dead. It could still well be that. But the combination of my charge and sending ducklings flying away and that had a beneficial effect. It caused the two underworld girls to pause in their advance and look back, buying Zen and the remaining guards a precious respite, allowing them to clear out more of the encroaching ducklings. As more of the ducklings grew in between me and the underworlders, Nera scrounged and glanced over at Andy. Kill him! Two words, seemingly insignificant words that I heard more times than I cared to count in movies, video game, and more. But they were words that made it clear that my life was in danger. The underworlder didn't care what damage they did or how many suffered and died, as long as they got what they wanted. Alright, here she comes. At any other time, the fact that someone would kill me would have gotten me to pause and rethink my current situation, to rethink my current course of action. You know, basic self-preservation kicking in, and I'm so sorry guys, no, we have no choice but to stop here. Anyway, if you realize why I'm stopping before 20 minutes, it's because of some policies issue with this game, right? So, thank you for watching part 11 with me, right? 11, right? And I'll see you in the next part. Goodbye! So sorry about that, so sorry, goodbye. Whoa. Did you get scared? Well, subscribe to my channel and I promise you'll never get scared again. Or watch more videos and you will be able to find your peace in life.